Hey, okay, so this is my book review for First Grave on the Right by... What is going on with the brightness? I don't know what I did to my camera, but I feel like it's messing itself up. Alright. But First Grave on the Right by Darynda Jones. I'm going to be reviewing this. I got this in a Scribbler box in the month of April. I also got a second book, Buzzkill. I have not read that one yet, so we're going to start with this one. I read this one for a prompt in Medieval-a-thon. It was the prompt for, like, pristine condition, I believe. It's no longer in pristine condition. I did read it. So, let's look at my notes, which aren't very notey. It's just kind of like an outline of what I want to do when I actually talk about it. So I gave this book 4 stars. And before I get into why I gave it 4 stars, I'll tell you guys what this is about. This book is about a girl named Charlie Davidson, because her parents have a sense of humor for Harley Davidson, right? And so this book follows Charlie Davidson. She is a private investigator, and, you know, starts out pretty simple. However, she also has this secret where she is a Grim Reaper, possibly the only Grim Reaper at the time. So it sounds like there's like one Grim Reaper, and then when that Grim Reaper dies, there's another one, based on what I've read in the book. However, she basically helps souls move on to the afterlife, but some of them have issues. For example, I dropped the book. So, like, some of them have been murdered. And so, like, she can't help them move on until she solves the murders, right? So, that's why she's also a private investigator. She kind of works with the police, like, kind of, sort of, and she's kind of, sort of been working with the police since she was 5. Unofficially. Like, she's listed as a consultant, but really it's so she can use her paranormal to figure out what's going on. So that's the synopsis of this book. Okay. So I'm not going to do what I liked and what I disliked. I think I'm just going to do, like, characters, the plot twists, and then talk to you specifically about what I didn't like, and if I will continue on in this series. As far as this book shows, there are 8 books in the series. Why is it strobing like that? Oh, this camera quality is awful. I really need to get a new SIM card. I'm gonna see if I can do that tonight. See if Mom can take me to Walmart and I can get a new SIM card for my camera. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's strobing when I show you this, but there are 5 other books in the series. So we'll talk about that too. So for the characters, Charlie Davidson. In general, I really like her. She's funny. She's kind of relatable. And she's nice. I like her. She's a good character. One of the things I don't like is she's kind of sort of dumb. She does really dumb things. And she's kind of sort of always been dumb. But otherwise, that's alright. Let's see. Her stepmom, you don't see her very often, but her stepmom is definitely the evil stepmom trope. And I think she has an older sister. I don't know if it's a stepsister or not. I forgot. Who's just perfect. And the stepmom loves that sister, but not her. So there's that kind of trope there. I didn't dislike it. I just feel like it's kind of overused a bit. Like, can there be a supportive stepmom and maybe an unsupportive real dad or something like that? I don't know. The dad's great, but you don't get to see him all that much. You see the uncle quite a bit, and he's funny. I like the uncle. The uncle in this book is probably one of the funniest parts. Her interactions with the uncle. There is what she calls the big bad, and this guy named Reese. Let's see if I can figure out if that's his real name, Reese. Reese, Reyes. I think that's Reese. Or Rise, something like that. They're both very, very interesting in different ways, and then you find out stuff about them as you go on. There's also this other guy, this officer, who works kind of closely with her uncle who doesn't like her, and there seems to be like some almost lust there, but overall it's not that so bad. Alright, so I'm going to talk about the plot and the plot twists right now. This section will get spoilery. So I will warn you, but this plot right here will get spoilery. Overall the plot's pretty good. It does lag in places. And there almost seems to be too much going on. So you have like this murder investigation going on that also kind of includes this missing kid case, which also, so that's like all on this side of it. And then you have like this subplot with this girl she tried to help escape from an abusive husband. And so that's like another plot there. And then you have this plot with this mysterious figure that stalks her, but also the second mysterious figure that's like interfering with her dreams and making like love to her. Like there are smut scenes in here, and some of them are in dreams and some of them are in real life. So all of that's kind of jumbled up together, and sometimes I kind of lose track about what plot I am following. Not that it's very hard, but like if you're not paying attention and then you're like suddenly you jump to this mysterious big bad and she's talking about him and you're like, wait, what? That part was very good. There is a trope in here that Books in Lala doesn't like, I believe. The trope where you're trying to figure out about two characters and they end up being the same. So, spoiler right now, major spoiler, will spoil the end of this book. Reese or Rise is the big bad, and they're the same person. And so the creepy guy that has been saving her entire life is the same person that is having sex with her invisibly. Not like full on sex. Like they don't have full on sex until the end. So sorry guys if you're looking for. I'm hoping there's maybe more smut in it at the end, like continuing on in the series. Well, I don't know if I say that. I don't know if I'm continuing yet. There's also a plot twist at the end that kind of makes me hesitant to continue on, like So what I didn't like, the plot twist at the end, I didn't necessarily strongly dislike it, but I feel like it's also something that's possibly overdone a bit. Maybe not particularly in these kind of stories, but I don't know how to say it. I feel like I see it a lot, but maybe I only really see it in fanfiction, and maybe that's why I don't like it. I don't know. Or Wattpad. I might see it a lot in the original stories on Wattpad. So maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like there are a lot of these kind of characters. And so you find out at the end of the book that Reese is the son of the devil. So, and she and him can't be seen together, or Reese can't be with her because if his father finds him, then he's gonna kill her, I think, and then like the last hope is like destroyed or something like that. And so there's apparently, like, she apparently has a lot more powers than she knows about, and she's just figuring them out, or she's barely scraped the surface of them in this book. So, while that wasn't something I necessarily loved, I didn't strongly dislike it. I have, like, very mixed feelings about these kind of illusions. Um, it's not even that I'm like overly religious and I don't like it. Like, oh my god, you can't talk about him like that. Obviously, I like say oh my god a lot. So like, it's not even that I'm overly religious. It's that I don't necessarily want to think about him, and all these allusions to him gets like, it just gets me thinking, and I don't really necessarily like thinking about that part of my religion. Not that I don't, and not that I don't think he exists, or this is getting really theological. I'm gonna stop it here. Hi, sorry, I'm Taylor, I'm a Christian, and yeah, I believe the devil exists. If you don't, that's fine. I'm not gonna like shove it down your throat. Just if I say something that you're like, huh? It might be either like some Christian reference or a Christian literature reference, and yeah. Um, so yeah, I'm sorry about that. So like, it's just I see it a lot, and I've read so many, but I feel like I read them all on Wattpad, so I'm not sure I should count them. Um, so that's that. Will I continue on in the series? I don't know. Like, this book was interesting enough. It is 4 stars. I did give this book 4 stars, and that's really good. It was just missing this thing. I don't know what it was missing exactly. It just didn't always necessarily do it for me. I enjoyed it. I'm interested in it enough to continue on with the series. However, this book itself was not high on my priorities list, except for the fact that I wanted to review it for the Scribbler box. And so it wasn't high necessarily on my list. However, it was interesting enough to make me want to find out what happens, especially with Reese and Charlie. Will I want to read 6 more books of this? I think that depends on how the second book goes. Or 5 more books of this, I think. This was published itself, I think, in 2011. So there might be more. There might be more of this. Like, the first book was published in 2011, and so now it's saying there's 6. So there might be more, there might not. I don't know. I think this book series is one of those series that I will just kind of have to determine if I'm still interested in it as I go. It is definitely my first adult book series I have read that, or this kind of adult, this romantic kind of adult. Like, I think technically all of Brandon Sanderson's books are adult. Like, I think even Mistborn's adult, so like I think I've read that one. I even think Middle Game by John McGuire was an adult book. I don't know. So it's not my first adult book read, it's just the first adult book that I've read of this variety to completion. Actually, no, I think Repo Girl was technically the first book I read of this variety. It's the first adult book of this variety I've enjoyed. Let's put it that way. So, while I am interested enough to continue on, I am not invested enough to go immediately and pick up the second book in the series, which might be why it's not 5 stars. I did not, while it's good and I enjoy it, I am not interested enough to go and buy the next book right away. So I will probably be continuing on with this series. It kind of depends on finances and getting the book and all that. And so this one will just be one of those as I go kind of books. That's it for this review. 4 stars. Scribbler box is still doing great. I think I might do a review of the whole box and not just the books. So I'm going to do like an unboxing video of it, and let's see. You guys want to meet Harley? If I can get her. I'm not going to take forever to get her, but if I can get her. Have you guys seen Harley? I think I shot a clip of all my cats. but I don't think I've gotten... I don't know if you've seen her yet. This is Harley. She doesn't like being cuddled, but I'm going to cuddle her anyway. Harley, see? Look at the camera. I'm going to see if I can get a memory card, because this is so fuzzy, and I know it is, and it's blurring in my glasses, and I can't read, like, my notes that are actually not really notes. Let's see if I can show you what I actually wrote. I don't know why I needed to read these notes. I just felt like it. That's literally all I wrote. So this one's kind of off the cuff as well. Hope you enjoyed this little bit of a rambly review, which is a little bit more structured than the book, If You Tell by Greg Olson.